and I'm an Atlanta City Council member representing District 12, and also the City of Atlanta. Mayor Reed is a part of this program that we talked about today, but he couldn't be here today. He may step in, he may not. He just wants you all to know that he is really supporting what we're doing today, and we're excited about it. As you all know, in June of last year, we signed a contract with a new industry in the City of Atlanta called EUE Screen Gems, better known as Screen Gems. And they came into our community. They're over at the old Lakewood Fairgrounds. The Lakewood Fairgrounds is actually owned by the City of Atlanta. And so to that point, they signed a 50-year lease with the City of Atlanta, committed to be in the city. And the goal was to produce movies and production studio. Some of you all went on a tour this morning and we saw how beautiful this facility is and gorgeous. We're excited. This industry just came into being, even though they have not even officially opened up the real building, the new building that they're building out. They've been busting at the seams. BET has been there. BET is there right now getting ready to film some things. A lot of different industries are there. ABC, a lot of industries. I can't even name all of them. They have, and actually it's great, and one of the goals that I had in mind was when we brought this industry in was to make sure that we create a curriculum around this industry right here at Atlanta Technical College. So Dr. Thomas is excited about it. So am I. We also have Atlanta Metropolitan College, Dr. Gary McGaha from Atlanta Metropolitan College. My vision, my goal, again, is to make this where this is a facility that you can actually get training from these great two institutions right here in our community. We have folks from Clark AU Center here. We also want to get some training. But again, the goal is to make sure that when we finish with this, and this is just the beginning, we're going to get jobs today. This is not a job fair. But the goal today is to talk about this industry and how can we get jobs in this industry. So that's what this is. And Chris has been doing a great job of really making it what it can be. There are movies going on as we speak, as I said earlier, so we're excited to have him. Chris, please stand. But anyway, all of these folks, we reached out all across the whole South Side. Because the first thing we want to do in our first workshop is reach out to people on the South Side of Atlanta. When we ready to pass this legislation last year, I got really criticized by a lot of people saying, why don't you just focus on your district? But again, on the South Side of Atlanta, when you look at the demographics, you will realize that in our communities, we need jobs. We need a lot to really bring our community back home. And the fact that you have an industry coming in our community, Tyler Perry, Screen Gems, it really says a lot about what's happening on the South Side of Atlanta. We got Fort McPherson, we got a lot of good things that are happening on the South Side of Atlanta, and this is just the beginning. But I'm already a little late, I'm running my mouth. So again,
I think that I've been involved with a lot of different special events and organizations that are involved with film and television. This is the only one that I've ever heard of that focuses on below-the-line jobs. Everything that we see the actors, we know about directors, we know about cinematographers or DPs, we know about editors. But there are so many people behind the scenes that help to make a film. And this is what this is talking about. And so I'm really looking forward to the sessions.
Good morning. Thank you so much for coming to the campus of Atlanta Technical College. As you can see, we have an awful lot to offer here. For those of you who are new to the college, I say welcome.
Across the street. And it is so great to be here with my colleague, Dr. Thomas, and many of you. I can't tell you how pleased we are to be a part of this program. And I bring you greetings from the entire Atlanta Metropolitan College family. What Screen Gems is doing, what these institutions are already participating in, we are clearly transforming Atlanta. And it is just required that much of that transformation take place in this community. And we thank you for your participation. If you happen to be interested,
the company appreciates that a lot. I'd also like to thank Mayor Reed, who's been a great supporter of getting our deal done here in Atlanta, helping us clear, found what motivated them, and how they would suggest that you network and gain the skills to work in the business. And some of you may already work in the business. Been at this in Atlanta longer than just about anybody. Tyler Perry's folks. So we're the new guys. We got a lot of the headlines because of kind of coming in, but certainly we're not the only ones, and we look forward to working together with everybody here. So we came in last summer and we did a lease on the old Lakewood Fairgrounds. Screen Gems is a company that started out as a part of Columbia Pictures in the 1930s. Then became kind of the television unit. And if you see any old like Dragnet or Car 54 or Leave It to Beaver, you'll see the Screen Gems logo at the end of those shows when that was part of Columbia. In 1984, after Coca-Cola had bought Columbia, they sold the motion picture company back to Sony, and our founder, George Cooney, bought the television unit from Coca-Cola, and so we started independently then in 1984 as a television studio in New York City. And for decades, we did most of the soap operas, Guiding Light, Edge of Night, were all done at Screen Gems in New York. And then...
It cost us a little over $200 million, and it made $800 million worldwide. The people who get the credit for that usually are the actors, which you see there on screen, the director, and that's who you hear about all the time. There's an old saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And this next one I'm going to show you is the production crew from that production. Aptly, I think we can also say a picture is worth 1,000 jobs. There were probably 500 or 600 people that worked on that production over the year and a half that they shot it. And this just kind of gives you a short representation of that particular day with that particular crew who was there. The thing that I want to talk about is basically how the business works from the production standpoint, and then how it can work for you from a job standpoint. Here's some quick facts about Hollywood. It's a $100 billion a year business, and that's spread out across television, film, entertainment. $100 billion is a lot of money in revenue for any industry to make. But it's really important when you look at the next line, there's only 500,000 workers that work in entertainment. And that is heavily concentrated in Los Angeles, California.
The training that you have as well, and we'll start from there. So, Krista, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about...
Hello, my name is Christian Pat. I am a local businessman in the area. I've been trained in the construction industry. Basically, I saw an opportunity with Screen Gems coming to my
industry for the last 22 years, and I moved here from Washington State in 1995. Currently, I'm working with the Steve Harvey Project as a camera person, and I also manage a small studio in Lawrenceville, where we have
lines on the ABC Partners pilot over at Screen Gems. And basically, my foundation started with the Olympics when it was here in '96, and starting out as a runner. And I've worked my way up from runner to I've worked for free on several music videos and television shows. I've worked my way up to produce, music videos for media development, which will be versed with, honestly, helping to train you all and attract films and market films and all of the related areas so that we can have a more trained workforce. And the next time someone speaks about Georgia, particularly Atlanta, they will say, there are so many trained people in Atlanta, we have all the right jobs for them. So that's one of my tactics. Unlike any other industry, relationships matter. There's no, you go to school, you get this training, you get a job. No, Martin Lawrence gave me an opportunity. Now, he didn't give me the job, because I remember the first day on set, I'm very nervous in a thin line. I said, am I doing good? Am I doing good? He says, look, your first note is if the director doesn't say anything to you.
Graduated from Emerson College, Boston, Mass. PA'd all the way through college. First job, lowest guy on the totem pole on a tour with Aerosmith. Go figure. From there, worked for Luther Vandross, a lot of different artists. Moved from there, but started, the foundation was straight PA, towel boy, as they used to call me, because all I had to do was make sure the beautiful towels were folded properly in the dressing room.
Build your references, build your relationships, meet these people, and be available when the phone rings. That's the best way to get into this industry.
I'm Steve Bench, Director of Operations for Turner Studios. you hear a reoccurring theme that relationships are so important. I've been in the business for 20 years, and I have always been hired by a client. It's the people you know that will employ you.
BET. I produce BET's The Monique Show, as well as Sunday's Best, which is at Lakewood. So I am both a client of Steve's and of Chris's. Relationships. The fact that you're here, you spend a lot of time understanding the industry from all aspects. Even in my position, I'm in my church. It requires that you really care. It means that you're interested in the industry and willing to research.
But they really are alike. They are. They both shoot something, but they know how to market. That's right. You here for the panel, right? Okay. So to do that, that's why they do see eye to eye. They really are the same mold. They just came in two different doors. But Tyler doesn't do anything that he don't think about how to sell it. I've noticed that about it. Absolutely. And Spike doesn't shoot anything unless he figures out how to sell it. They're constantly out there selling the whole time they're shooting. Well, some people out there shooting, but then you come to me and you say, well, how can I sell this? What did you put in here for you to sell?
He even worked out a deal with Lionsgate to open up the door for him.
And it took the guy in the mailroom. It took the guy in the mailroom to help understand. Well, I haven't heard of Tyler Perry because Tyler Perry is not in your neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? So you got to figure out what's working in your neighborhood, and then what's going to work in the national hood. You know, because there's the neighborhood, and then there's the national hood. And the national hood don't always see. TV works good for Eddie Murphy, Will Smith, and Denzel Washington because they were on TV shows. So the world got a chance to see them every week. All right. But when they get a chance to see you every week, how did they get a chance to respect you and like you?
Okay, well, put this in your other pocket.